Hello everyone, long time no see. My name is Dorri, coming to you from the Downtown Spa and Relaxation Center. Today we're going to talk a little bit with May Rodriguez, who is a integrative nutrition practitioner. And what we wanted to kind of focus on was anti-inflammatory foods, starting off your morning, fueling your body, starting the right way. I feel that the first thing in the morning, whatever you do, is going to set the tone for the rest of your day. So as I have mentioned a couple of times now with, morning motivators, definitely starting your morning with warm lemon water. You can add a little bit of honey. Honey is very good for the skin, inside and out. You can add a little bit of cayenne pepper. That's just going to stimulate some fat burning for you. Next, black coffee with a little teaspoon of cinnamon. Not only does it taste great, but it's very good for you as well. Antioxidant properties in there for you. And of course, our morning smoothies. I love smoothies first thing in the morning. I don't like down them. I use them for, sipping away all morning. It keeps your metabolism going. It keeps you from, feeling hungry and then just eating, donuts, muffins, all that other good stuff. Anyways, first thing in the morning is so important to get started. Now, the first section that I wanted to hit on, obviously, was fueling the body. But not only do you fuel the body with foods, fueling the body with fitness. Specifically, stretching. I mean, you can be as strong as you want, but if you are not flexible, having good range of motion, what good is being so strong? Anyways, that's going to be our next topic, and I'm going to have a guest speaker join us with regards to that as well. So stay tuned for that information. So with regards to anti-inflammatory foods, there are so many things that we can do just to hold down inflammation. We know at the base of every condition, at the base of every thing that we have is inflammation. So if we can control that, then chances of having less inflammation in the body, in the joints, in the bones, are going to be good. So certain types of foods, mainly foods that are high in preservatives, red meats, things like that, processed food, are all high in inflammation. And I know that personally, like retaining water, cleansing the system is so important. Something that I like to do is add chlorophyll to my water. That helps clean out the blood. Little things that you can do throughout the day, such as that. But what you eat is so important. I don't ever like to use the word diet. As soon as I say diet, I want to eat everything that I wasn't even thinking about eating before. So you want to use this as a lifestyle change. No diet involved. It just should be something that you get into the habit of doing and that you keep doing. Of course, there's going to be things and times that you're going to stray off. Well, that's all fine. You have to sometimes let your appetite or your craving just go for it. Do it, get it over with. But to stay on these lifestyle changes and rearranges are very important. So we're just waiting here for May to join in. Not too sure what's going on, but we'll just keep chatting until she does. I hope everyone had happy holidays, and I know that this time of the year is all fine and dandy to talk about, changes that you want to make, New Year's resolutions. The only thing I can say about those New Year's resolutions is don't try too many changes at the same time. You want to pick one, focus on it, make your small changes, and then keep going with them. If you try too many different things, then nothing is going to work for you. So you want to be able to make small changes baby steps forward, and be consistent. She's on? Okay. Awesome. We have May coming on with us now, and she's going to take it away. Feel free to ask any questions that you would like us to answer. We'll try to get to them today live. If not, we will address them as we move on. Good morning, May. How are you? Sorry about that, darling.
That's okay. I was there. I was waiting.
Aw, I'm
Who
sorry
are you?
about that. Anyways, I got a chance to chit chat a little bit and just give my 2 cents on what I believe, a diet, not diet, new ways of incorporating healthy habits into our daily routine. So, May, I'll let you take it away, darling. Just give us a little bit of insight on you and your practice, and then we'll take it away.
Yes, thank you, Dorri. Thank you
No
very
problem.
much. Well, I had the chance to go through, and hi everybody. Good morning. Everybody's feeling nice and refreshed. It's a cold one out there, but it's not too bad, right? I mean, we got to make the best of it.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure. So I had a chance to kind of go through the email you sent out to the followers there, and yeah, very great tips. And the tips that you just provided, waking up, and having a routine, I think would be, such a important thing, right? To basically avoid some of the cravings later on in the day and that sort of thing.
Right.
It is interesting, how we fuel our body, how much it makes a difference when we start eating the right type of foods
Mm-hmm.
throughout a lifetime, right? Or throughout a year or two, you start to really see the difference, although it could be a lot sooner. But you start to manage your body differently, and you notice that there are things that are changing, and you're not craving as much sugars, and you're not eating as much fat, and you're not eating things that basically don't sit in alignment with your gut, right? It's great to see that you have a morning routine that's worked for you for so long. And how long have you been doing it?
Oh my goodness, I'd have to say, 20 years. I mean, and I will say every now and again I drop off and, then it's just the coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do get back on there and I find that those three things really, really help me. So
Mhm.
that lemon water, I mean, for detoxifying the liver, if nothing else, and I've tried to give up coffee, but you know what? I really enjoy my one coffee in the morning. I don't do any more than that, but adding cinnamon just gives it that little bit of flavor. And of course, the smoothies. Can't be without it.
Of course, and cinnamon has so many healing properties.
Hmm.
For instance, it's like a fat burner, and it also helps you when you have that 1 teaspoon a day. It also really helps you focus, which is a really great part of have like adding cinnamon to your coffee or tea. Your latte is usually how I have it, and nothing against having a coffee a day. I think a coffee a day is very. I mean, if you're used to it, right?
Yeah.
It's super uplifting. The only things that you have to pay attention to is maybe hormonal imbalances, and that's where coffee can sort of counteract like what you're trying to do, right? And also with adrenals, because coffee have the caffeine levels in it just sort of race. But everybody's different, and some people don't have those effects at all, right? So
No.
this is what I believe. I believe that everyone's a bio individual,
Yeah.
and what that really means is that we feed our bodies according to how we pay attention to it, right?
Exactly.
So what works for you doesn't necessarily work for me, and that's one of the biggest things that is hard to come across. So this is why I am anti revolutionary diet as well, because I do think that once you set yourself to following, like, an Atkins diet, although I think that one's phased out, but the new one now is keto, and I think it's got a lot of really interesting properties.
Hmm.
But the problem with diets, it's just you crash, and you don't you don't do it for long term, right? So eventually,
Right.
in 3 months from when you started, you end up falling off the wagon, and then you wonder why, right? And I think it's sometimes it's too limited. So automatically, I think most people have that defense mechanism. If you tell them not to, that's the first thing they're gonna do.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
You say the word diet, and trust you me,
Mhm.
over, I'd say, starting from the age of 17 till probably, I don't know, 8 years or so ago,
Yeah.
I tried every single diet on the market.
Hmm.
And most of them will work because it's changing your body chemistry so that you're burning
Hmm.
fat or
Hmm.
whatever. Um, but afterwards, when you try to go back to what we would consider a normal way of eating, I mean, it's just yo-yo back and forth and back and forth. So I was, before you came on, I was saying that saying the word diet just makes me want to eat stuff I don't even eat now. You
Hmm.
know, so lifestyle changes and
Hmm.
just new way of eating,
Hmm.
or and as we age, our eating habits and patterns change too. Like I've noticed over the
Yeah.
time, right? Like your metabolism needs a little bit of a kickstart. There's certain things that you need to do to help keep that moving and keep being able to burn off the calories.
Hmm. I think those are very valid points, Dory. Yes, and as we age, there are different things that sort of happen to us, and we do have different needs. And this is when you compare the way that you eat now to the way that you ate when you were younger, and it's just very different, right? We were able to burn faster, we were able to have more energy, and as we get older, that energy sort of diminishes, and as well as some of the other minerals in our body. So this is why it's important to sort of like sit back and see what really works for you. Uh,
Absolutely.
said being a paying attention to your eating habits as a bio individual really makes a big difference, right? And starting off the day with a solid routine, because I feel like a solid routine really kicks you into a really good habits, right? So of
Yeah,
eating. So if you start with sugar, then you'll end up like craving sugar during the day, and that's what I mean about starting with good habits, right? So but if you start your morning with like the good fats and the essential fatty acids that your body needs, with other properties like antioxidants. I know you talked about your smoothie, which sounds delicious, by the way.
so good.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good. It looks like it's really full of antioxidants. So antioxidants are a really great property for the body, because they really do help with like slowing aging, and some of us really want to slow that down a bit, but
Yes.
yes, it was good, right? It's good. It's a good idea. But it helps like your skin, your face, hair, nails, also reducing heavy metals, which is something that we are very exposed to nowadays, right? Well, for years now, but mainly in the last couple of years, right? It's just been a lot of heavy metals that people have built up over the years, right? It's kind of just hidden under the cells, and the antioxidants really help kind of push that out. That's why that's important.
Yeah,
It also protects your vision and eye health, which is another important part of life, being able to see.
absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
if
And
you had to give us a definition of fuel your body, like a lot of these cliche kind of little phrases, fuel your body, mindful, all of these little new catchy phrases
mhm,
come into play.
mhm.
So, what would you say is the meaning of fueling your body? It's
Well,
not just eating, right?
no,
There's eating and then there's fueling the body. That
yeah.
to me, let's know the difference.
Yeah, so that's such a great point to touch on, because sometimes we only focus on the food that we've got on our plate. And if we were to actually take, the food, secondary, and you were to focus on the primary foods, which are basically like, your lifestyle and the things that you do on a regular basis to fuel your body, right? So what makes you happy, what brings you joy, how your finances are, your spirituality, how your health is, your environments that you're in, your home cooking, how that's going. And if you were to spend a little bit more time in these primary areas,
Mhm.
then your secondary foods wouldn't be such a challenge, right? So when you say fuel your body, it means fuel your like your mind, body, and spirit, right? So it starts with your mind, you know, and just really focusing in those areas that sort of need balancing, right? Because we all need to focus on some areas more than others, right? So like finances, creativity, health, and then we have our physical activity, like how much workout or exercise daily regime do we really get. And I find that these things really help with removing blocks and also like making better choices when it comes to the actual food on our plate.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I
Mhm.
know that, people have said to me, we're out in a restaurant. Why are you ordering a salad? You know what? Because I have gotten so used to eating salads. I mean, I love them.
Mhm.
We go to a restaurant, it's true. I look at the salads first, and that's always what I will order.
Mhm.
And the main entrees are secondary for me, where some people are the opposite. So it is a little bit about training your mind
Mhm.
to what you like, that it trains your body to what you
Yes.
crave.
Mhm.
And I know that if I do fall off the wagon, and hey, everybody is a human, I
Mhm.
have fallen off the wagon.
Mhm.
But once I start eating that stuff that I so enjoy, like wine gums and jubes, the more I eat them, the more I crave them.
Right.
And it really takes, like you say, a conscious effort to say, no, that's
Mhm.
not what you want. You're just craving that. Your body's craving that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
your mind needs to tell your body, no, let's
Mhm.
get back on track.
Mhm.
So it does all come into play.
Yeah.
Mind, body, spirit, all
It
comes
it
into
really does, Dory, and it makes such a big, difference when you start off your day. Just that creating those attainable habits at the beginning of your day really make, set you up for success, for the end of the day, right? So having, a very nutritious breakfast. I always say it's not good to skip meals, although some of us are fasting and doing other things. And let me tell you, like I want to, or point that out again, what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. So sometimes, we're giving advice, but really we got to listen to our bodies. Like, what is it that, really fuels me and what gives me that energy boost, right?
Mhm.
And but if that energy boost is energy drinks and coffee, yeah, all those things will eventually, hit a crash during the day, right? And so the energy no longer exists. So
Right.
what you want to do is you want to create energy, you want to maintain that energy throughout the day. And I think that's, very key to how, we start our morning, right? So
Yes.
because it's up for that sort of success rate.
Yes.
And the body is sort of like a car, like a vehicle. And I know everybody's heard this analysis before. So, fueling the body the right way really, is what helps, create that energy and manage that energy. And, most often when you're eating the right foods, you'll also have a good mind, right? So good
Yeah.
mental stamina, which I think is another great solid point.
Absolutely. And mood swings.
Hmm.
Like I think too much sugar. I mean, you're riding high for a little while, like you say, you come down, you crash, and then all of a sudden you're tired and you're
Hmm.
moody, and so uh,
What
the
is,
first thing in the morning, that morning motivator is so important to create a positive
hmm
habit,
hmm
to create
hmm
positive change.
hmm
And those three little things can make the world of difference in your day and in your lifestyle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I was just gonna mention, sorry, about the multi-million-dollar industry of energy drinks.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they have us thinking that this is what's really going to give us energy. But I think most people are realizing that that's not it, right? And instead it's just adding to, cravings and crashes and not enough sleep, and it just affects your entire nervous system overall, right? So yeah, like you said, the key is to wake up and create those habits. And it does take a while to change and create habits. It does take time, but I think with practice and consistency,
Yeah.
you get there, and eventually you find yourself doing the same thing over and over. And so this is how you got to look at the way you're fueling your body, and your body is a temple. You want to
Yeah.
fuel it the right way.
Yes. And I think too, in the day and age that we live in,
Hmm.
we're all looking for the quick fix.
Hmm.
What can I do quickly? I'm on the run. I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I think that's why all these, energy drinks and shortcuts
Hmm.
have really found a place in everyone's life because of time.
Hmm.
So, with the smoothies and that, I do try to get as much frozen as I can, unless, of course, summer months.
Hmm.
But then you're cleaning, you're chopping, you're preparing. So you just have to allow a little bit of extra time to prepare and get set up for the week or at least for the day. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time, but it's going to be just so much better for you.
Hmm. No, absolutely. It's very true. And some of the antioxidant fruits that you should add to these. So one of the highest antioxidant type of fruits and herbs and that we should all be cooking with. I believe goji berries have a really high source of antioxidants.
Mhm.
So, and I know it comes usually dry because they come from Peru, South America usually, but they've got one of the highest source of antioxidants. And so I don't know how and where you can find it, but there are places
Yeah.
in and where you can find goji berries, usually frozen fruit.
Mhm.
It's very good because you can
Yeah.
just throw it in the blender, and I'm sure that's what you've done, right?
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
we're we're off season as well. We're not getting local fruit, right? So we're getting it from
Yeah.
US or Mexico or wherever. So when you buy frozen fruit, it kind of avoids, buying that fresh fruit, but it's still a good source of antioxidants, right? So another good source is wild blueberries and having a little bit of dark chocolate that's also really actually well known for antioxidants, and artichokes and elderberries, cranberries and blackberries, and cilantro. Cilantro is an herb, and it's really got a very high property of antioxidants. So these are the type of foods that you want to eat and then you want to cook with, as well as cinnamon, oregano, turmeric, which is also known for inflammation properties.
Yeah.
Uh, and cumin and parsley, and where most of us are already using those herbs in our kitchen, and
Mhm.
it's just using more of them because they are so good for our body, and they really do remove a lot of toxins.
Yes, absolutely. And
Hmm.
with toxin comes swelling, retaining water,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
I mean, water, that's another topic. Um, Water, and they say 8 cups a day. I do believe that everybody's different. I mean, some
Yeah.
days I just want 4, other
Hmm.
days I'll drink 10.
Hmm.
It just depends. And I love warm water lately. To
Hmm.
have a cold water, unless it's really hot outside or I just finished doing a workout, uh,
That's right.
no, warm water and lemon all day long for me. I love it. I
Hmm.
love it.
And it's good for your organs, right? Because you're trying to keep your organs. They're already working really hard to stay warm because it's so cold outside, especially if you're out and about and you're walking. So yeah, hot water or hot water with lemon is a beautiful thing to drink as you're on the go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
way to hydrate.
So, what then would be the top of the list to avoid inflammation? What types of things? What foods? What can we do? Like short list.
Mhm. Yeah, so inflammation is one of those things that really happen to the most of us, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think the majority of the population has had some form of inflammation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's basically how the immune system protects the body from infection and injury and disease, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so your immune system is very much attacking itself or attacking the healthy cells, and this is what inflammation really is. So the two types of inflammations are acute and chronic inflammation. Acute meaning that it occurs for a short duration of time, and then chronic inflammation is that it's for a longer period of time, and it takes usually more to calm that inflammation down.
All right.
The type of foods that we can sort of nourish our body, and anti-inflammatory foods that are super important. I mean, we all use, maybe I shouldn't say we all, but some of us should be using ginger and turmeric in our daily cooking, and garlic and olive oil. These are all staples in the kitchen, and they really do help reduce inflammation, right? So I sometimes like to add a lot of garlic to my foods because I know, how anti-inflammatory and the property that it has, right?
Yeah.
It's not only good for inflammation, but also for the liver, right? So
Yeah.
if you're wanting to or produce more glutathione, you want to add a lot of garlic to your meals. Actually got into the habit for a while of eating it raw.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Yes,
Good on you.
the problem with that is that it comes out in your pores, and then I didn't realize it. I was like, oh wow, that really smells. Yeah, so I no longer do that. So I now just I'll bake them, and so sort of what do you call it, roasted garlic,
Yes.
and then I consume it that way.
Yeah.
I'll smellier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so that's one of the staples that we have in our kitchen, and we should be eating more and more of that, and whole garlic.
Hmm.
Eating berries, certain wild caught fish that are high in essential fatty acids.
Yeah.
Uh, Consuming these foods are really going to help you reduce the amount of inflammation that your body has. Most of all, though, I want to say that removing all refined sugars out of your diet are probably what's going to save you for the most part, because artificial sweeteners and alcohols and high fructose corn syrups and refined white sugar, like I just mentioned, processed meats, flours, processed white rice, and pasta, all of these have inflammatory components that sort of affect our body. And so when we're already fighting inflammation and we are having these foods, we end up having worse issues, right? So and some of us suffer from like gout, and we don't know that
Hmm.
that's really mainly diet, right? It's what we're eating. So having good fats are important to include because they have positive effects, right, in our diets,
Hmm.
uh, and it helps us recover from whatever lows we've had of inflammation, the time that we've spent having all that pain, for bone health as well. It manages our metabolic rate, and weight management. So healthy fatty fish, I would say wild caught fish are a really great addition to
Hmm.
your diet.
Yeah. So when we're talking about foods that we should eat, we know that we're getting, as you're mentioning,
Hmm.
um, vitamins and minerals from these good foods.
Hmm.
But what if you don't know, what your body is lacking, or what you can do? Like, do you just get a multivitamin and away you go, or where would be a place to start with that?
Of course. So, to actually to find inflammation in the body, there's one test that you could do that you can order through your doctor, and that one really gives you a specific percentage of what your body, or percentage of your body is inflamed. So that one is called, it's the serum protein electrophoresis. I think you can just test it in a blood work,
Okay.
and so SPE to be short.
Okay. Yes.
It's the way to confirm chronic inflammation, right? So that's one of the tests that you could do with your doctor today, or make an appointment and find out right away.
Hmm.
The other one would be the hair mineral analysis, because the hair mineral analysis really looks at the adrenals and the thyroid component. And those are both metabolism, and adrenals are basically driving like the entire body. So
Hmm.
you can find out how much of your body has inflammation. And sometimes we're walking around with inflammation we don't even know. So
Exactly.
having your hair tested, because it's a biopsy, in a lab, gives you a lot of answers as well, right? So if we're stuck and we don't really know what's going on, and there are further testings that you could do, and I think that hair mineral analysis is one of those biochemistries that really looks at your entire body,
Yeah.
your human physiology, and gives you a quicker answer. And really, it's very accurate.
Yeah. It makes so much sense to me to know what you should be putting in your body rather than just guesstimating or self-diagnosis. And I mean, we're all guilty of that. I mean,
Mhm.
I am too.
Mhm.
But to actually know what you should be taking,
Mhm.
like why be taking all that other stuff and have that like be over the top, and then you're still lacking on what you were lacking in the
Mhm.
beginning anyway. Why
Mhm.
not 100% no? So what I will do is, after we meet up today, I'll send out some of those ideas and the names of the tests and everything that we can ask our doctor for, and information about the hair mineral analysis,
Mhm.
which you do as well.
Mhm.
And well, you don't do it. They come in
Yeah.
and take the hair, and we
I,
send it out to the lab, and
yeah.
then you'll go over the results afterwards, right?
I don't test it. I wish I had that type of lab.
Yeah, that'd
Oh,
be awesome. That would be awesome.
that's right.
Well, I think we've hit on, majority of things that I wanted to talk about today. I mean, nutrition and the body, fueling the body
Mhm.
is a very complex thing. And like you say, everyone is different. We could eat the same thing and get different values from it. We can stop eating the same thing and, I lose weight, you don't. Like
Mhm.
everybody's so
Yeah.
individual. I think part of the equation to it all is definitely listening to your body. So mindfulness,
Yes.
mindfulness.
Yes.
See what happens when you do have that
Mhm.
food or lack of. See
Mhm.
what happens. Read your body and listen to your body.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know?
Yep, it's connecting with it, right? And some of us we need, like, people like myself. So I actually coach, through that, and I help you understand what it is your body, that's what it is that your body's telling you.
Yeah,
And it's and some of us just have it, and we just have to really pay attention. And when a food doesn't sit well with us, our
hmm,
body tells us right away. So that means it's not a good food for us, right?
exactly.
And when it's a really good food, well, then you're feeling energized and you feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, paying
So
attention to connecting to.
allergies and intolerances are
Hmm.
two key things of your body saying no. But
Yeah.
some of them could be just that much more
Hmm.
slight and you
Hmm.
don't really recognize them, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So paying attention, mind, body, spirit, you
Mhm.
cannot get away from it. It's the connection. And when one thing is off, then there's no connection. So they all three have to be lined up, and that's our goal, is to school everybody on this mind body connection.
Mhm.
So, if people would like to come in and visit with me, she does offer consultations to help you get started, point you in the right direction. Just give us a call at the spa, and we'd be more than happy to line that up for you. And as we move on with our healthy habits, the next thing that I'd like to touch on our next visit will be the fitness component. And not everybody is the same about fitness. You don't have to, pedal to the metal and work yourself to the bone. It's, again, about doing the right thing for your body type, for your age, for your, bones. You got bad knees that you're not going to go run a marathon, but you can do other things. So stay tuned with us. Thank you so much, May, for joining me today. I most appreciate it. I always learn something new when we speak. So thank you so much and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everyone.